Now, everyone has a busy schedule, and in the warm months, when the grass is growing, you'd rather be at the pool, the lake, or doing something other than mowing. Well, the good thing is, this robotic lawnmower will mow your lawn so you don't have to. This is the UBHOME M10 robotic lawnmower. It may look small, but it's surprisingly powerful. After a few weeks of testing, I'm generally impressed. I was initially concerned about the 13-inch cutting width and the height that goes up to 2.6 inches, but it handled my 5,000 square foot backyard on nearly a single charge, which really surprised me even more. One common challenge with robotic lawnmowers is finding the right spot for the charging base and the RTK antenna. It needs to be far enough away from the house and trees to get a strong satellite signal, and keeping a reliable Wi-Fi connection can be tricky with that. That's where the UBHOME M10 stands out. It uses LoRa, a long-range, low-power wireless tech. It comes with the LoRa gateway that connects to your home's Wi-Fi and then sends that signal out to the RTK antenna, the mower, and the base. The LoRa gateway can cover up to 34 acres for the connection that gives you real-time tracking, scheduled mowing, and instant alerts for things like low battery or errors. So here's what you get in the box for the UBHOME M10 robotic lawnmower. First, there's the LoRa gateway. This is a little box that plugs inside your house to power into the wall and connects to your home Wi-Fi. It then sends that strong signal out to the mower via the LoRa gateway. It goes to the mower, goes to the RTK antenna, and it goes to the base. Next is the RTK antenna. It mounts to a pole that comes in 3 different sections that screw together. At the bottom, there's a pitchfork style base that helps secure it into the ground. Now, you don't need to mount this on the pole if you don't want to. You can mount it against a wall or against a fence or a pole that's even higher. You'll want to place this somewhere in the open so that you can get a clear connection to the satellites. Then there's the charging station. The RTK antenna plugs into the charging station and the robot lawnmower charges and stays right there when it's not in use. You also get plastic screws for the ground to secure the charging station. Then you get a spare set of mowing blades and an owner's manual. Oh, last but not least, you get the robot mower itself. So taking a closer look at the mower itself. Up top, you've got the antenna, some onboard controls with an LCD screen, the rain sensor, which uses 2 little contacts to detect water. There's also a big red stop button on top, just in case you need to quickly shut the thing off or shut it down. On the front, you'll see a camera, a couple ultrasonic sensors to help with the obstacle detection, and a front bumper for added safety. Underneath, starting with the rear wheels, they have deep spikes for traction. Up front, they have caster style wheels, so that way it can be for smooth turning. In the center, there's a spinning disc with 3 razor blade style cutting blades. This is what cuts the grass. It doesn't use a traditional blade, it uses these razor blade style cutting blades. These blades will need to be replaced from time to time, but they're inexpensive and way easier than sharpening a regular mowing blade. Before I started using a robotic lawnmower, I had a ton of questions, and the chances are that you do too. So let me break down some of the big questions that I had. So how does it know where to mow? Well, you have 2 different options here to map out the sections that you want to mow. You got to map out the areas and then do no-go zones. Mapping out the areas, you can either A, use the phone as a remote control and drive this thing around the perimeter of each area that you want to mow, or B, you use like a rope and you can put this in traction mode and pull it around the perimeter that you want to mow. Either way will work just fine. I enjoyed driving around like a remote control car. Once your mowing zones are set, you can add no-go zones for things like garden beds or anything like that's something you don't want to mow in the middle of it. Maybe it's a area that your kids are going to play at all times. Maybe there's sand or whatever. You can put no-go zones inside the area. Also, you want to map out paths between the areas that you're going to mow. So you got to put a path between, so my front yard has 2 different sides of the yard and the driveway is in between. And I have to map out a path from one side of my yard to the other, or else it won't know to go to the other side of the yard. This path is where it takes from one area to the other to get to the other side. So what if it rains? Well, this robotic lawnmower is waterproof. The mower, the base station, and the RTK antenna can stay outside. But it won't mow in the rain. There is a rain sensor on top. It has 2 little prongs, and if it detects water, it'll pause the mowing and wait, and then it'll pick back up once it's been a set amount of time. If it's raining and it hasn't started going mowing and it's scheduled to mow, it will then wait until it's about a good amount of time after it rains. What about obstacles like trees or toys or swing sets? The M10 robotic lawnmower uses 9 sensors for obstacle detection. It'll slow down when it sees something in the way and confirm it's an obstacle, and then it'll stop and turn around. The downside is it does turn around and leaves the grass behind the object unfinished, or at least uncut. But once the mower is done with the rest of the lawn, it goes back and gets the unfinished parts of the lawn. Hopefully, with future updates, it might just go around more like a robot vacuum does usually. It goes around the device, around the obstacle, and then continues mowing. What if someone tries to steal it? If the mower is tilted or picked up, you'll get an alert on your phone. Plus, it requires a PIN code to operate. So even if someone does take it, it's basically useless to them. Honestly, you're more likely to have someone stop and watch it mow out of curiosity rather than take it. How's the cut quality and what maintenance is involved? This thing cuts between 1.2 and 2.4 inches. I usually keep my lawn about 4 inches in the summer, so I was skeptical. But at 2.4 inches, I was actually impressed of how well it cut my lawn. It left clean stripes and did a good job overall. Sure, it missed a few blades here and there, but so does my gas mower. You can always have it run a second pass in a different direction to catch more. After all, it's not you actually doing the work, it's the robot. Maintenance-wise, it's super low effort. No oil, spark plugs, or sharpening. Just swap out the blades ever so often for about $10. Let's take a quick look at the smartphone app and its features. All right, so here is a quick look at the app. Right now, if you wanted to, you could run this mower around by itself by the remote. Can you connect to the actual robot via Bluetooth to make it better? And then you can actually manually drive this around to mow your yard if you wanted to, and that's the remote section. The schedule allows you to schedule. You can schedule, obviously, you can schedule mowings and areas at times and days. And then record. This records everything that's going on and how often it mowed, or when it was complete, or if it's incomplete, or all that type of stuff. And then you can edit the map or change the mowing order. To the top left here is all the signals. If it's good, the batteries as well, if it's charging or what its charge rate is. Right now it's at 100%, it's not charging, and the mower has a good signal. The LoRa gateway has a good signal, as well as the actual RTK antenna. Then here's the two maps that I have currently right now, and it kind of shows you where the mower is as well as where the RTK antenna is. And it's my backyard here. So I got A and B here. We've got a side yard and a backyard. And so this tells you kind of where everything's going to be. Right now it's sleeping. And if I wanted to, I could mow. I'll go hit play. Right now mow. So all areas or partial areas. Partial areas allows me to pick the areas that I want to mow. If you go to preference, this allows you to decide the preferences for each area, or you can apply it for all areas. So right now, if I wanted to do, say, my backyard, I want the mower driving speed to be slower, normal, or faster, and then I can change it. So like 2.4 inches or the height of it. Grass, high grass mode. If you have high grass right now, and you can change high grass mode so that way it doesn't think it's running into an obstacle. If just based on high grass. And then perimeter mowing, after it's done mowing, it will go around the perimeter and mow a nice clean edge. Mowing direction, this allows you to change up the mowing direction of the yard where it's mowing. You can do that right there. And then right next to the play button, there's a return. So if you ever want it to return to the charging station at any time, you can do that. Under settings, you can edit the map, do the no-go zones, you can do the paths. You can even modify. It says 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞. I don't know what that is. I think it's just a stock name that they gave it. Device management. This allows you to replace or update firmwares for each thing, each little device. PIN code. You can adjust the PIN code here. Child lock. You can force shut down the machine. Tells you app version, geofence, help center, and about us, or log out of this. And that's the app. It's pretty simple here. They do have, if you're running into issues, you can run in. Explain something to somebody if you wanted to, or wanted to get help. So, and I kind of had to do that with the RTK station. I kind of had to ask a few questions on that to get a better understanding of that. So here are my final thoughts. If I'm being honest, I did face some frustration getting this thing set up. I struggled to find a good location for the RTK antenna and my base station. I've been told that it's best to put the RTK antenna in an open area and as high as you can put it. Putting it above your house is best, but I know we all can't do that. I did eventually find a location that I could put it and the base station. The controls on the phone to map out the areas were easy to use and reacted very well to the movement. I noticed this robotic lawnmower would stay straight when I was mapping it out. I didn't have to fight it going back and forth to keep this thing on a straight line. I really like the addition of the LoRa protocol, as I know it can be tough for most people to get a strong Wi-Fi signal outside of their house, and this was really important that they have this. Looking at the quality of the cut, I'm pretty happy with it. I think to get the best cut overall, that you most likely want to cut it twice in 2 different directions. Now that may take a little bit extra time, but at the end of the day, again, it's a robot doing this, not you. Either way, I'm confident that this mower can maintain my lawn to my liking. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a like and feel free to ask any questions in the comment section below. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing for more tech reviews, home automation, and home and automotive how-to videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.